Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Is it just me or none of this makes sense? Also, they're already putting this on t-shirts. This is about an hour and a half ago. Donald Trump was just released from the hospital. He's fine. He made a statement. But the person that did this was able to get a rifle on top of a building, and people were pointing at that person and alerting the police and the Secret Service that that person was over there for minutes. And the Secret Service snipers didn't even fire at him until they fired, the person that did this fired first. I mean, people are now saying that Trump has taken a bullet for us. What has Biden done? Trump has essentially become a martyr. A lot of this just doesn't make sense to me. I ask that you pray for ex-President Trump and for the families of the victims of this terrible situation that happened. And if this was staged, just a couple of centimeters off on that would have ended him. I just, what do you guys think about this? Is it just me or
Information for you. A senior Secret Service source familiar with the planning of yesterday's event tells NBC News that the roof where the shooter was located was a well-known, high-priority vulnerability. It was identified just the day before during a security walkthrough. We've also just learned that there were 2 counter-sniper teams on site and that the counter-sniper did not need approval to shoot. One source telling NBC News that prior protocols were not followed. Information for you. A senior Secret Service source.
First crack of the gunfire, and I just screamed, "It's the sniper! It's the sniper!" And he was firing down toward the water tower.
That's what we're hearing.
And yeah, and then at that same exact moment, there was a spray from the right side of the stage that I thought was some type of gas. Like, or not gas, but smoke to blind, blind up front. But he said it was, he heard it was gunfire, didn't know they call it on the crack. So the gunfire was coming toward the stage.
Wow.
And then a few minutes later, there was a couple more shots down the hill, and that's when they started flooding and pushing everybody out. First crack.
Watch as this footage sparks theories across the internet.
See something that said, take a look what happened. What happened? Take a look what happened. If you want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
Armchair ballistic analysts indicate a second shooter at the Trump assassination attempt. Evidence mounts as 2 bystanders are shot with the same round. The internet is ablaze with conspiracy theories and claims of a second shooter. In other news, Biden screeches on about banning the weapon used.
Well, can you explain why the shooter's drone worked?
Because there was no counter-UAS present, sir.
Well, you had a drone system, but you had bandwidth problems. The bandwidth apparently was adequate for the shooter's drone, but not for the Secret Service. Can you explain that?
I have no explanation for it, sir.
We also know that in a military context, electronic warfare or jamming capabilities are commonly used on the battlefield. Does the Secret Service have jamming capabilities or drones?
We have drones, sir, and when it comes to, I have to be very careful about how I answer this one in an open forum. What I can tell you is that we have technical security measures, sir, to address, I think, what you're asking me.
Well, can you explain why the shooter's drone worked?
Because there was no counter-UAS present, sir.
Well, you had a drone system, but you had bandwidth problems. The bandwidth apparently was adequate for the shooter.
You know what the internet is alleging now? That Trump took this idea from Taiwanese president. Hold on. Let me pick myself down to a little guy and explain. March 19th, 2004, somebody tried to assassinate the president in Taiwan. It was eerily similar to this. Now, mind you, they said they had several sniper teams out here, right? The internet is alleging that the young boy was a patsy that they put up there with a rifle, that they had a sniper somewhere else to hit the random person in the crowd. Because this is what happened in Taiwan. Now go watch the video again of Trump. Why does he keep looking to the right? Is he expecting something? Now, the things that he did after the shooting was definitely weird. Looking for your shoes, throwing up a fist, trying to show you gangster, trying to be all hard. In Taiwan, that 20-year-old was a patsy. In America, this 20-year-old was a patsy. These are all allegations. None of this is to be proven to be factual until the truth comes out. And as you know, when everything happened, when the chaos kicked off, they pushed Trump down to the floor, which gave them plenty of time to apply anything to his ear. Again, these are all allegations. And in Taiwan, guess what happened after they shot that person? That guy became president. The Taiwanese guy became president, the one that they attempted to assassinate. Did Donald Trump take this out of that record book? Hold up. Pause the read. Yeah, pause the read. Yeah, you read that? Trump took this right out of the Taiwanese attempted assassination book. Allegedly, these are all allegations until the truth comes out. When a person tells too many lies, don't believe them. How is this so much of a coincidence? Listen, y'all, you know what this is. These are all allegations. None of this is to be factual until the facts come out.
Event in Pennsylvania. Once again,
no blood on hand at all.
Right before the announcement for his potential running mate pick, many people were watching this event very closely to see what would happen. Would he give any hints? Would there be any teases?
An
about,
active shooter, and everyone is
mate?
just standing there.
As
Paid
we head towards
actors.
Election Day, again, all of that stopped abruptly by this chaotic.
A woman sitting behind Trump during his rally in Pennsylvania has become the center of attention and gone viral for what some are calling strange behavior during the assassination attempt. Many are questioning her actions. Do you think she was really acting strangely? Tune in to find out more and share your thoughts.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. If you want to really see something.
New doubts arise in Trump assassination case. The director of the U.S. Secret Service comes under suspicion. A woman has been drawn into the spotlight. Latest online revelations. I'm Jonathan Willis, the sniper on the roof during Trump's rally. One of the officers in that famous photo. I'm here to tell the public, we spotted the assassin at least 3 minutes before. But when we reported it to the Secret Service director, she refused to give the order to take him out. It was only after he shot at President Trump that the higher-ups stopped us from him. That's the first revelation. There's a second one. The 20-year-old shooter was bullied constantly. Almost every day at school, he was subjected to campus bullying. People mocked him for his outdated clothes. But who would have thought he'd pull off something so big? And the third revelation. It points to the most suspicious figure, the Secret Service director. This woman was formerly the head of security at Pepsi in the U.S. After Biden took office due to her close ties with the Biden family, she went from being a corporate security head to the director of the U.S. Secret Service, in charge of protecting important figures in the U.S. If these revelations are true, this is a big deal. Many Americans are skeptical about this. Their conclusions are even bolder, claiming clearly that Biden's Secret Service is negligent and there might even be a mole. Before we delve into the flaws and clues, let's look at a photo. This Secret Service agent is estimated to be under 5 feet tall. How did such a petite woman end up protecting President Trump? What skills and quick reflexes does she have? And how did she get this job? One of the duties of Secret Service agents is to take bullets. But in this case, the bullet missed her and hit the protectee directly. Remember, the director of the Secret Service is a woman, and she's close to the Biden family. Was she chosen for political correctness or for some other reason? After a day of speculation, there's a lot of specific information online now. For example, 130 meters away from Trump's speech, someone climbed up a ladder in broad daylight and set up a machine gun to take a shot. Yet the Secret Service didn't see any of it. Second doubt, didn't the Secret Service conduct routine inspections of the factory beforehand? It just doesn't make sense. Third doubt spectators saw someone with a gun on the roof and told the police, but they were ignored. No measures were taken. This is outrageous. Even at a random concert or sports game, if someone's aiming a gun at the crowd, the police would take necessary actions. But for a potential future president, a former president of the U.S., the Secret Service was so negligent, it just doesn't add up. Fourth footage obtained by the media shows. The Secret Service had 2 snipers in place. They took out the shooter right after he shot Trump. Media reports say they knew the location beforehand and were aiming, but their superiors ordered them to wait until the shooter fired, meaning the director of the Secret Service waited for him to shoot before allowing her agents to take him out. In summary, the Trump shooting case is fraught with doubts, reminding countless people of the assassination of President Kennedy. On the 50th anniversary of that event, 51% of Americans polled believed it was the U.S. government's doing. The most pointed criticisms I've seen online accused the Secret Service of deliberately leaving the best shooting position for the gunman. At this point, a lot of information suggests this might have been intentional. Until the investigation concludes, everyone can speculate and voice their opinions. But ultimately, it's the investigation that matters.
My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage.
Why has Donald Trump's ear healed so quickly after being shot? For the first time since the assassination attempt earlier this month, Trump has been seen without the bandage that covered his ear. Everyone on the internet is puzzled by the absence of stitches or visible scars on the former president. After surviving the attempt on his life on July 13th, which caused blood to pour from his ear and resulted in this historic image, Trump wore a large white bandage on his ear at the Republican National Convention just under a week later. However, recent photos from a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu show Trump's ear looking remarkably unscathed, with no visible scars or scabbing. This rapid recovery has sparked intense online speculation, especially after Trump's former doctor, Ronnie Jackson, reported that he had a 2-centimeter wide gunshot wound. Speculation about whether Trump got shot or staged the whole thing is already rife on social media. So for the former president to appear in public with no visible wound, less than 3 weeks after getting shot, will only fuel the conspiracy theories. But what do you think? Why has Donald Trump's ear healed so quickly after...
Sorry, just need to pump the brakes on this here disinformation train. People all over TikTok are trying to pass this very grainy video off as Thomas Matthew Crooks, threatening the life of Trump supporters and all Republicans. The problem is, that's not Thomas Matthew Crooks. How do I know? Well, that video is actually from 2020, and it was taken at Arizona State University. And well, in 2020, Thomas would have been 16 years old, and as we already know, he lived in Pennsylvania. So...
Ted Bundy, Richard Spick.
What about them?
serial killers. Serial killers only have two names. You ever notice that? But lone gunman assassins, they always have three names. John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald, Mark David Chapman.
John Hinckley. He shot Reagan. He only has two names.
Yeah, but he only just shot Reagan. Reagan didn't die. If Reagan had died, I'm pretty sure we probably would all know what John Hinckley's middle name was.
The would-be Trump assassin, as federal investigators continue to search for a clear motive behind the shocking attack. The Crooks family has maintained a low profile, avoiding the public eye. Neighbors in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, where the Crooks family lives in a modest 3-bedroom home, barely know them. Katie Crooks, Thomas's sister, is described by neighbors as a hard-working woman juggling 2 jobs. She moved into her apartment building in Bethel Park 3 years ago with the help of her brother. Katie, who works as a janitor at a local high school and as a server at a restaurant, is known as a real go-getter and real friendly. Both she and Thomas are registered Republicans, while their father is a registered Libertarian. Thomas Crooks had graduated from Community College of Allegheny County in May, majoring in engineering science, and was set to attend Robert Morris University in the fall. The college expressed shock and sadness over the events, extending condolences to the family of Corey Comparatore, who was also affected by the tragedy.
The assassination attempt on Donald Trump was an inside job. Investigators have discovered that someone who regularly visited Crooks' home and workplace also visited a building in Washington, D.C., located in Gallery Place near an FBI office on June 26, 2023. A second device linked to Crooks visited Plymouth, Massachusetts. Additionally, a device connected to Crooks' workplace visited to Butler, Pennsylvania on July 4th and July 8th, but ceased all activity on July 12th. And now we have this video, which was taken from one of the windows the Secret Service had access to, overlooking the entire roof. As you can see, they had complete coverage. And it makes you wonder how on earth they allowed crooks access to the roof, let alone crawl up it and make several attempts on Donald Trump's life. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
We finally have the letter of the guy who shot at Trump, and what he said is insane. So for context, this is the shooter, and his name is Thomas Crooks. But here's where it gets crazy. His former classmates said this about him.
Yeah, he was bullied almost every day. He would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays. I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but
And this is where we find out what he wrote. And remember, not only was he in this commercial for BlackRock recently, and also remember, people were taking videos of him while he was still alive before he took the shot, which has people saying this, but we found this man's Steam account. And here's where it gets more scarier. On his Steam account, he was playing this game. In the game, you try to save the president. Not only look at his bio, but also look at the games he played. He played that Mr. President game for over 132 hours. But he played Aim Lab 0 hours. This was his review. Now, this is all alleged. Does this give you the chills? We finally have the letter of the guy who shot at...
Is a Manchurian candidate, controlled by others, to do things against his will, possible?
I would say the answer is yes, but there are many qualifications to that.
Milton Klein, a psychologist, a clinical and experimental hypnotist, and unpaid consultant to the CIA.
The qualifications would be the subject selected to produce the kind of behavior that you wish, the amount of time, the procedures that are utilized, and the motivations of the people who are designing, executing, and administering the procedures. You're asking whether an individual can be, under hypnosis, influenced, coerced, persuaded, shaped to perform an antisocial act, or a destructive act, or an act of violence.
You are to shoot the presidential nominee through the head, and Johnny will rise gallantly to his feet. and lift Ben Arthur's body in his arms, stand in front of the microphones and begin to speak. The speech is short, but it's the most rousing speech I've ever read. It's been worked on here and in Russia on and off for over 8 years. I shall force someone to take the body away from him. Then Johnny will release those microphones and those cameras with blood all over him, fighting off anyone who tries to help him, defending America even if it means his own death, rallying a nation of television viewers into hysteria to sweep us up into the White House with powers that will make martial law seem like anarchy.
The idea of mind control also frightened the public on the silver screen.
We may proceed with the demonstration.
In 1952, a U.S. Army patrol is captured and brainwashed by Soviet and Chinese forces during the Korean War. The patrol is programmed to believe one of its members, Sergeant Raymond Shaw, is a hero.
You like him a lot, don't you?
Raymond Shaw is the bravest, kindest, warmest, most wonderful human being I've ever known in my life.
Captors also program Raymond as an assassin, capable of killing anyone he is ordered to. To demonstrate the power held over Raymond's mind, the communist agent giving the presentation, Dr. Yen Lo, instructs Raymond to kill 2 members of his patrol. The patrolmen are returned to America, made to believe it was through Raymond's efforts that they defeated the enemy forces. After some time of Raymond settling back into life in the United States, the communist agents begin instructing him over the telephone by providing a trigger sentence.
Why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire?
Once reaching the Queen of Diamonds during his game of solitaire, Raymond's mind is open for commands.
Normally conditioned American who's been trained to kill, then to have no memory of having killed. Without memory of his deed, he cannot possibly feel guilt.
The communist agents also discuss that Raymond will eventually be handed over to an American operator. But during the costume party, we find out Raymond's mother is the American operator working with the enemy.
Why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire?
Before Raymond receives his instructions, he gets a visit from Josie. The two quickly reconnect, run off, and get married. Eventually, Raymond's mother programs him to commit another murder, this time of Josie's father, Senator Thomas Jordan. Raymond also kills Josie. The death of Senator Jordan allows Raymond's stepfather to become nominee for Vice President of the United States. Raymond's final instructions from his mother are that he is to shoot the presidential nominee while giving a speech. This murder will allow Raymond's stepfather to move in and take the presidential nomination. Major Marco is unable to stop Raymond, but Raymond doesn't shoot the presidential nominee. Instead, he shoots his mother and stepfather. When Marco arrives in the room, Raymond says he had to stop them, then shoots himself.
I served them. I fought for them. I'm on the point of winning for them the greatest foothold they will ever have in this country. And they paid me back by taking your soul away from you.
I tell you, there's something phony going on. There's something phony about me, about Raymond Shaw, about the whole Medal of Honor business.
One of the more memorable parts of the film is its portrayal of the brainwashing dream sequences. Major Marco's dream begins by showing that he and his patrolmen are attending a garden club meeting, which was programmed into their minds to cover the truth about where they are, in Manchuria, having their minds manipulated. The scene mixes elements of the fake garden club meeting with that of the actual brainwashing demonstration.
Days away, how much will this scandal affect the outcome?
The president spent the weekend pressing the flash. He wasn't campaigning, he was dating, actually.
Now, Washington's top spin doctor.
We can distract the press for 11 days till the election. I think we got a chance.
Has an idea.
We can't afford a war.
We're gonna have the appearance of a war. But he can't pull it off without Hollywood's top producer.
Do I know you? We have some mutual friends in Washington.
Why come to me?
We want you to produce.
You want me to produce your war?
Not a war, it's a pageant. We need a theme, a song, some visuals. We need, it's a pageant.
New Line Cinema presents.
How close are you to this? What do you want the kid to say?
All the spectacle.
I know we're all concerned for the president.
I know we're all concerned for the president.
I know that we are all concerned for the president.
He didn't sell the line.
All the drama.
The president's going to go to war with Albania in about 30 minutes.
Albania's hard to run.
These are chips.
We need it for the armed position on the screen. It'll be a kit, and we'll punch it in later, right?
And all the effects of real war.
Okay, put the village behind her.
Give me some sound of screaming.
Without the casualties.
America has seldom witnessed a more poignant picture of...
They used the same process with the last Schwarzenegger movie. You're the man.
Albania, Albania.
That rhymes.
I can't believe that we forgot a hero. It was like we sent him the Christmas card and we left out the fruitcake. There you go.
Sergeant Schumann, if I may, welcome to history.
How are you? Anybody want a beer? Because I could party.
When it's cooking, it's cooking.
From Academy Award-winning director Barry Levinson.
When this goes national, I get to put it on my resume?
Actually, no.
What could they do to me?
Take him home to your house and kill you.
Academy Award winner Dustin Hoffman.
This is politics at its finest.
Academy Award winner Robert De Niro.
How would you like an ambassadorship? That's my payoff. Hell, I just do it for a story to tell. Oh, no, you couldn't tell anybody. Listen, I'm just kidding. No, you couldn't tell. No. It's just it's a pageant. It's a pageant. That's what it is.
Wag the dog.
When the fit hits the shan, somebody's going to have to stay after school.
The Secret Covenant, made by the Kennedy, Onassis, Rockefeller, Russell, Van Dyne, Merovingian, Astor, Bundy, Collins, DuPont, the Rothschilds, and the Orsini family. The Orsinis have had control of the Vatican since its conception.
We will keep their lives short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators and sedatives in food and water as well as in the air. They will be covered in poisons wherever they turn. The soft metals will make them lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many funds, and yet we will give them more poison. Chemical poisons will be absorbed through the skin of idiots who believe that certain hygiene and beauty products presented by great actors and musicians will be eternal youth to their faces and bodies, and through their thirsty and hungry mouths we will destroy their minds and systems of internal organs, reproduction. However, their children will be born as disabled and deformed, and we will hide this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything around them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We have to be ingenious in distributing the poisons because they can see far. We'll teach them that poisons are good, with funny pictures and musical tones on TV. Those who are looking for them will be helpful. We will enroll them to push our poisons. They will see that our products are used in film and they will get used to them, and they will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them that we are helping them. We will start earlier when their minds are young, and we will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that kill their minds and steal their future. And when their ability to learn has been affected, we'll create more drugs that will make them sicker and cause them other illnesses, for which we will create even more drugs. We will make them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese. And when they come for us to help, we will give them more poison. We will focus our attention on money and material goods so they never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, so that they are never one with the unity of all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. And if they refuse, we will find ways to implement technologies that alters the mind in their lives. We will use fear as a weapon. We will establish their governments and we will establish opposition within them. We will own both sides. We will always hide our goal, but we will continue our plan. They will do the work for us and we will prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs, and our blood, it must be pure because it is. We will make them kill each other when they oppose us. We will keep them separate from unity through dogma and religion, and we will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and let them believe that they are guiding themselves. We will instigate animosity among them through our factions. When a light shines among them, we will extinguish it by mockery or death, whichever suits us. We will make them tear their hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this using hatred as our ally, anger as our friend. Hatred will completely blind them, and they will never see that in their conflicts we will be their leaders. They will be killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbours as long as we see that they are against us. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We will repeat this until our ultimate goal is achieved. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger, and we will give them images and sounds. We will use all tools we have to achieve this. The tools will be provided by their work, and we will make them hate themselves and their neighbours. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. That he must never know. They must never know that colour is an illusion. They must always believe that they are not equal. And drop by drop by drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their lands and resources and wealth to exercise control over them. We will trick them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they have. We will set up money systems that will shut them down forever, keeping them and their children at debt. When we band them together, we will accuse them of murder and present a different story to the world because we own all media. We will use this media to control the flow of information and their feelings in our favour. When they rise up against us, we will crush them like insects because they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything about it.